Have you ever seen a squirrel leap from one branch to another, soaring through the air for just a moment, and thought, wow, it's almost flying? Well, what if I told you about a squirrel who took that thought a little more seriously? This isn't just any squirrel story. It's the tale of Squeaky, a little red squirrel with a dream bigger than the tallest oak tree in the forest. From the moment he was just a little kid, Squeaky was different. While his siblings were content to learn the family business of nut-bearing and predator dodging, Squeaky's eyes were always turned to the sky. He'd watch the graceful glide of the hawks, the frantic flapping of the sparrows, and the majestic circling of the eagles. He didn't see them as threats. He saw them as teachers. He was utterly captivated by the freedom of flight. His family thought it was just a phase. "Squeaky, get your head out of the clouds and help me with these acorns," his mother would chirp. His father, a practical, no-nonsense squirrel, would shake his head. "Squirrels don't fly, son. We leap, we climb, we scurry. That's our way." But Squeaky couldn't shake the feeling that he was meant for more than just the forest floor and the treetops. He wanted the whole sky. So, his grand experiment began. His first attempts were, let's say, less than graceful. He climbed to the highest branch he dared, take a deep breath, and leap, flapping his front paws with all his might. The result was always the same, a frantic, undignified tumble through the leaves, ending with a soft thud on the mossy ground below himself. But the spirit that dares to leave the branch. Squeaky's breakthrough came from an unexpected source, his own kind. He began to watch the flying squirrels. They didn't truly fly, not with flapping wings, but they glided. They had a special membrane of skin between their front and back legs called a patagium. They'd launch themselves from a high point, stretch out their limbs, and sail through the air, sometimes for hundreds of feet, landing gently on another tree. Squeaky didn't have a patagium, but he did have ingenuity. He scavenged for materials. He found a large, discarded piece of spider silk, incredibly strong and light. He gathered flexible twigs and broad leaves. Over several days, he worked tirelessly, weaving and tying, creating a pair of makeshift wings. They were clumsy, uneven, and looked absolutely ridiculous. They were a patchwork of green leaves and brown twigs, all held together by shimmering silk. He chose his launch point carefully. The oldest, tallest pine at the very edge of the forest, overlooking a gentle grassy slope. This was it. The culmination of all his dreams, his failures, and his unwavering hope. A small crowd of onlookers had gathered below. Curious rabbits, a cautious deer, and even the grumpy badger, peeking out from his burrow. Squeaky took a deep breath, the scent of pine filling his lungs. He strapped his leafy contraption to his back. He looked down, then out at the vast open sky. For a second, a flicker of doubt crossed his mind. What if his father was right? What if squirrels just weren't meant to fly? He shook his head. He had to know. With a powerful chitter that echoed through the silent forest, he ran to the edge of the branch and leaped. For a terrifying moment, he dropped like a stone, just like all the times before. The crowd below gasped. But then, he stretched out his paws, and his makeshift wings caught the breeze. The drop slowed. It didn't stop, but it turned into a long descending arc. He wasn't flying, not really. He was gliding. He tilted his tail, steering himself, just as he'd practiced. It was the most exhilarating, most terrifying, most wonderful feeling he had ever known. He wasn't soaring with the eagles, but for a few precious seconds he was airborne. He was free from the branch. His landing was far from perfect. He came in a bit too fast, tumbling head over tail into the soft grass of the meadow, his wings collapsing into a heap of leaves and twigs around him. He lay there for a moment, dizzy, heart pounding, a huge grin spreading across his face. He had done it. He hadn't flown, but he had glided. He had defied squirrel nature. From the edge of the forest, a strange sound rose up. It was applause. The rabbits were thumping their feet, the deer nodded his head, and even the badger let out a low, approving grunt. His family, who had watched from a nearby tree with their hearts in their throats, scurried down to greet him, chattering with excitement and relief. Squeaky never did learn to truly fly like a bird. His wings were a one-time invention. But he never stopped being Squeaky, the flyer. He became a symbol of courage in the forest. He taught everyone that while we all have our limits, it's the spirit that dares to push against them that truly matters. He showed them that you don't need wings to soar, you just need the courage to take that first leap. And every now and then when he'd jump from a particularly high branch, he'd stretch out his paws just a little wider, hold his tail just a little flatter, and for a split second he would feel the wind lift him, remembering the day a simple squirrel touched the sky. So next time you see a squirrel, don't just see a creature gathering nuts. See a tiny acrobat, a daredevil, and maybe, just maybe, an aspiring pilot with a dream. The sky belongs to those who are brave enough to reach for it. Thank you so much for watching Squeaky's story with me today. If you enjoyed this little tale of courage and conviction, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories from the hidden corners of our world. Hit that notification bell so you won't miss a thing. See you in the next video.